That's how we do things. Boom, we're making a movie. Hey director, are you okay? I'm fine, thanks. Jaycee Chan, a famous martial artist known for his funny parts and amazing stunts, is worried about his only son, Jaycee Chan. While his father went up, J.C.'s path has been full of disappointment, legal fights, and missed chances. People all over the world were shocked when J.C.'s acting career failed and his singing career also failed. His life has not been easy. Join us as we look into the terrible story of Jaycee Chan's son and find the shocking tragedy behind the Chan family name. We'll show you the painful truth about fame and beauty. But before we start, let's take a look at J.C.'s early life. Early life of Jaycee Chan. The only son of Jaycee Chan is Jaycee. Chan has had a tough life thanks to a failed movie career and time spent in jail. Because he was raised in a wealthy family, Jaycee had a hard time living up to his father's high standards. Jackie and his wife Joan Lynn, who have been married since 1982, got married in secret in Los Angeles after their son Jaycee was born in 1982. They had their baby the day after their wedding in December. California's Jaycee Lynn was born on December 3rd, 1982. His mother is Taiwanese star Joan Lynn, and martial arts star Jackie Chan, who was born in Hong Kong, Jaycee. In Williamsburg, Virginia, they went to the College of William and Mary for 2 semesters, but they did not finish. He loved fancy cars and going out at night. He said, "I quit school because I wanted to be a musician. Virginia is full of sheep." This made his father mad because he set a high value on schooling. Jackie Chan could only spend 2 weeks a year with his son because of how busy his acting business was. Due to their fame, they couldn't leave the house and had to stay inside. Because his dad was very busy, Jaycee was mostly raised by his mother, who gave him lots of nice things because Jackie Chan was successful. Jaycee Chan's childhood was full of extravagance and wealth, thanks in large part to his mother, Joan Lynn, who married Jackie Chan and had a son with him. Joan gave up her great acting career to take care of Jaycee. As Jackie's fame and wealth grew, so did the lavish lifestyle they gave their son. Joan, who may have wanted to make up for Jackie's absence or just give Jaycee. He was allegedly spoilt with expensive gifts, fun toys, and a life that most people could only dream of. Even though she did it out of love, this way of parenting was criticized later on because some thought it caused Jaycee feeling like they deserve something, and a lack of respect for personal growth and hard work. Jackie Chan, who is known for having a strong work ethic, has said that his son's childhood had some problems. His busy work routine, which kept him away from home for long periods of time, is something he often talks about as a major problem. Jackie was often not around, so Joan raised Jaycee and made sure he had a happy and privileged life by any means necessary. Joan herself came from a very poor family, so it was a surprise. At age 12, Joan Lynn quit school to work as a child worker to help her family. As a child, she worked hard on a farm, and because she was so pretty, she became a dancer at a bar. Joan got her first part in a Taiwanese movie when she was 19. She was in 70 films over the next 10 years. In 1982, Joan got pregnant with Jackie Chan's son and quit acting. She stayed in the US during her pregnancy. During her pregnancy, Jackie didn't spend much time with her. He only joined her a few days before their son Jaycee was born. Jack and Joan were not married at that time. Joan told Jackie, "My son is going to be born soon. Which name should I put for the father on the birth certificate?" Jackie replied, "Put Chan Kong San, which is his real name." Jack agreed to marry Joan at this point, which made her very happy. Since then, Jackie has said that she did give Jaycee. That gave him a lot of stuff and kept him from having to work hard. Might have been a mistake. The way he was raised may have made Jaycee feel like they deserve it and less driven. It was an honest realization from Jackie, who recognizes that his absence and the lavish life Jaycee had as a child could have led to trouble. In his autobiography, Jackie also wrote that his life was very different from Jaycee's. Then, how did Jaycee's problems relate to those of his father, and what is the sad story of Jackie Chan's son? Check back to find out. The early years of Jackie Chan. Jackie was born on April 7th, 1954, in British Hong Kong as Chan Kong Sang to parents Charles and Lee Chan. She is not Jacqueline, who had to leave China because of the Civil War around 1937. Jackie's dad, whose real name was Fong Daeong, worked for a short time as a spy for Hong Kong's top spy, Lieutenant General D. Lee. In the 1940s, Jackie's father ran away to British Hong Kong because he was afraid of being arrested by the communist government. He changed their last name from Fang to Chan and took his wife Chan Li Lai's last name. Jackie found out who his father really was in the late 1990s and changed his Chinese name to Fang Shalong, which he got from his family's history book. Her family tree goes back to Wu Hu Huai. He grew up on the grounds of the home of the French minister at Victoria Peak in British Hong Kong, where his father worked as a cook. On Hong Kong Island, Jackie went to Nawal Primary School, but he failed his first year. After that, his parents picked him up from school. Bruce Chan's dad went to Canberra, Australia, in 1960 to work as the head cook for the American Embassy. The China Drama Academy is a top opera school run by Master Yu Jim Yuan. Jackie was sent there. He worked out hard for 10 years and learned how to do high jumps and martial arts. Jackie joined the Seven Little Fortunes, a group of the school's best students, in the end, and changed his stage name to Yan Lo to honor his teacher. Together with Sammo Hung and Yuan Biao, he became close friends. The three of them were called the Three Brothers or Three Dragons. After getting their start in the movie business, Jackie and Sammo learnt Hapkido from Grandmaster Jin Pao Kim, and Jackie got her black belt in martial arts. He also learned different kinds of kung fu and had training in judo, taekwondo, karate, and jeet kune do. Jack moved to Canberra with his parents in 1971. He went to Dixon College for a short time and worked as a building worker. Chan was taken in by a builder named Jack, who called him Little Jack later. This name was changed to Jackie, which has stayed with him ever since. Jackie had a very bad childhood because his parents were refugees and couldn't even pay for his birth. Having a hard childhood taught him how to be disciplined, and taught him how important it is to work hard. He did theater practice every day from 5 a.m. when he was a kid until 11 p.m. with only lunch and dinner breaks. He was hit with canes when he did something wrong, and when he was sick, he was told to tough it out. The way Jackie was raised is very different from the way he raised his son, Jackie said. He often thinks, "We never made food go to waste at the table when I get home. One of my son's socks is outside of his shoes." He thinks his son is not disciplined. Jackie wrote that when he was a teen, he thought Jaycee didn't try hard enough. He went to work all day and jogged at night. By the time he got home at 9 p.m., his son was already asleep. This made Jackie angry, and she wished Jaycee. He worked very hard on his project, which was clear. Up until midnight, I have 8 talks. After that, I'll go home, work out, and read scripts. It was clear that Jaycee wasn't as motivated as his father, so he quit college after only 1 year. Some news sources say he was actually kicked out because he drank too much, left his room messy, and took too many days off. Chan, who had worked hard to get where he was in life, didn't get how his son lived. He was really let down by J.C.'s lack of drive. Jackie thought that his son should be as determined as he was, but he saw a young man who seemed okay with not having a clear plan for his life. It wasn't just that Jaycee didn't have drive. Jackie was also worried about rumors that his son partied too much and didn't care about working hard. There were rumors that Jaycee spent a lot of money and liked staying up late more than doing planned activities. Jackie's success was built on focus and hard work, so this wasn't just normal teenage behavior for him. It showed how different their beliefs were and made a rift between them. But how did Jackie's hard childhood shape the hero he became? Let's find out. Jackie's work in films. He made his movie debut in small parts as a child actor when he was 5 years old. He was in the 1962 movie Big and Little Wong Tin Bar with some of his fellow Little Fortunes. He was 8 years old at the time. In the movie, Li Liwa played his mother. The next year, the young actor was in extras for Yen Chun's 1964 movie Liang Shan Pio and Chu Ying Tai. He also had a small part in King Hu's 1966 movie Come Drink With Me. After having a small role as an extra in another kung fu movie called A Touch of Zen, Chan joined Chu Mu's Great Earth Film Company in 1971. One of his most famous scenes was the fight where Lee kicks Suzuki and throws him off. Chan made a second appearance in Enter the Dragon, a Bruce Lee movie. He played a small-time bad guy that Lee's character killed. Thanks to Sammo Hung, Chan had small parts in all of Bruce Lee's films. Chan also planned the martial arts for John Woo's 1974 movie The Young Dragons. Willie Chan, a Hong Kong-based film director, sent Jackie Chan a telegram in 1976 saying that he liked the way Jackie did his stunts. Willie Chan gave him the chance to be in a movie directed by Lo Wei. After seeing Chan's performance in Hand of Death by John Woo, Lo planned to use New Fist of Fury to make Chan look like Bruce Lee. Becoming the Dragon became his new stage name, to draw attention to how much he looks like Bruce Lee, whose stage name in Chinese is Lee the Little Dragon. The movie didn't do well because Chan wasn't used to Lee's style of martial arts. Even after the movie didn't do well at the box office, Lo Wei kept making films with similar ideas, but they didn't do much better either. Chan's first big hit was the 1978 movie Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, which he worked on while on loan to Seasonal Film Corporation for 2 films. The director, Yuan Wu-ping, gave Chan full power over the stunt work. The movie made the funny kung fu genre famous, and people in Hong Kong liked it. That same year, Chan also appeared in Drunken Master, which was a big step towards becoming known to everyone. Once Chan got back to Lo Wei's office, Lo tried to copy Drunken Master's funny style by adding new things and showing them off. Jackie was the action director for Half a Loaf of Kung Fu and Spiritual Kung Fu, among other films. He also gave Chan the chance to direct Fearless Hyena, which was his first movie as a director. Jackie should decide for himself if he wants to stay with Lo Wei after Willie Chan left the company. Willie Chan told Jackie, The fear of triads was used against Chan when he broke his contract and joined Golden Harvest while Fearless Hyena Part 2 was being filmed, calling Willie the person to blame for his star leaving. A fellow actor and director named Jimmy Wan Yu helped to settle the argument, which let Chan stay with Golden Harvest. Who Am I? Was Chan's last movie for Golden Harvest. Was put out in 1998. He produced and acted in the romantic comedy Gorgeous with Yu Shu-chi. The movie was mostly about relationships between people and had a few martial arts scenes. After 1999, when they left Golden Harvest, two of Chan's films, Gorgeous and The Accidental Spy, were still made and marketed by Golden Harvest after he left in 1999. Then in 2000, Chan helped make a PlayStation game called Jaycee Chan Stuntmaster. He provided his voice and did the motion capture for the game. In 2000, he worked with Owen Wilson on Shanghai Noon, a Western action comedy, which helped him keep doing well in Hollywood. In the 2003 follow-up Shanghai Nights, he had his first fight scene with Donnie Yen. In 2001, he worked with Chris Tucker again on Rush Hour 2, which was even bigger and better than the first movie and made $347 million around the world. Chan tried out different kinds of special effects and wire work for the fight scenes in his next two Hollywood movies, The Tuxedo and The Medallion, which did not do as well with critics or audiences. He worked with Steve Coogan on the 2004 movie Around the World in 80 Days, which was mostly based on Jules Verne's book of the same name. Stephen Willis, a film expert, says that Chan was probably the world's most famous star in 2004. Even though Rush Hour and Shanghai Noon were big hits at the box office, Chan wasn't happy in Hollywood because he couldn't choose from many parts and didn't have much say in how films were made. Because Jackie was on TV and films, his son Jaycee looked for a new stage. What was this different stage? Check back to find out. The path of Jaycee as a musician. According to Jackie, Jaycee wanted to be a singer, but Jackie wanted his son to become a lawyer, engineer, or doctor. Jackie really cared about this, especially since show business had already taken over his life. In spite of what his folks wanted, Jaycee. In 2004, they went from Los Angeles to Hong Kong with the goal of making it as a musician. He told them that he wanted to be famous for his own skills, not because of his family name. Being sure of his choice, Jaycee. He even gave up his American identity to become a Chinese citizen. But this choice might have been called into question after his first record came out and was panned by critics as terrible and a waste of money. The record, just called Jaycee, didn't do well at the stores. Jaycee, he himself said that Hong Kong's music scene is different. You need to pay attention to films and songs. His desire to become a musician came from seeing Jackie do the same thing. Jackie learned to sing at the Peking Opera School when she was a child. In the 1980s, she started making records for a living and went on to become a famous singer in Hong Kong and Asia. He has put out 20 records and sung in English, Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese, and Taiwanese since 1984. Jackie often sings the theme songs for his films, which are played at the end of the movie. His first song on record was Kung Fu Fighting Man, which was the theme song for The Young Master in 1980. At least 10 of his songs have been on CDs with music from movies. Story of a Hero, one of his Cantonese songs, was used as the theme song for the TV show Police Story. In 1994, the Royal Hong Kong Police used it as an ad to hire new officers. He did the role of Shang in the Chinese version of Disney's animated movie Mulan in 1998. He sang I'll Make a Man Out of You for the US album too. When it came to singing, Donny Osmond did the singing and B.D. Wong did the talking. He worked with Annie DeFranco on a project called Unforgettable in 2007. Chan made the 2008 Summer Olympics official countdown song, We're Ready, and sang it at a ceremony for the event's one-year countdown. He also put out one of the two official records for the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, featuring a number of special guest visits. At the end of the 2008 Summer Olympics, Jackie sang Hard to Say Goodbye with Andy Lau, Lung Chu Wai, and Weiken Chow. While this was going on, Jaycee was trying to get in touch with his father or make his own way. Like his famous dad, he also tried to make a living in music by putting out records and acting. Even though J.C.'s background and the opportunities it offered, his efforts got only a lukewarm reaction. It was hard for critics and audiences to remember his songs, and his acting didn't stick out. His father's fame had a huge effect on him and made people constantly compare them to others, often in a bad way. It looked like Jaycee was doomed to stay in the shadow of his father and never reach the same level of success or break out of it. Jaycee tried to make a name for himself in movies and music. His first movie, The Twins Effect 2, got less than 5 out of 10 reviews on IMDb. It might not have been fair to expect a big hit from his first movie, but the ones that came after it didn't do much better either. He was in Jackie Chan's 100th movie, 1911 Revolution, with his father. It was his least profitable movie though, making only $127,000 and getting only 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. The following year, Jaycee starred in Double Trouble, which made news because it only made $9,000 in its first 2 weeks, making it one of the worst films ever at the box office. Even worse, he was in the movie Whoever, which had to be shown in half of the country's theaters but didn't make it to the top 10 in China, and has only gotten 15 votes on IMDb since it came out in 2012. In 2010, Jaycee's second studio record topped the charts in Taiwan. That was the only good news about his life. But it looks like this record hasn't been a long-term hit because there aren't any reviews online and it was hard to even find the track list. Let's look at the terrible story of Jaycee Chan's son, the tragedy that breaks your heart. It didn't matter how well the record did when, on August 14, 2014, Jaycee Chan was caught by Beijing police for having illegal drugs on him, which made the other problems he was in seem small. After 4 days, news came out that Jaycee, after a tip from people in the public known as the Koyang masses, was found with more than 100 grams of drugs. Jaycee was taken with Ko, a Taiwanese actor who would be freed 14 days later. Jaycee Chan took a big hit to his personal and business life when Jaycee was arrested. It was embarrassing for Jaycee, who had built his reputation on being honest and following the rules. He felt like everything he believed in had been broken, especially since Jaycee was China's anti-drug representative. He had been against drugs for a long time, and now his own son was involved in a big incident. Nobody missed the irony, and Jaycee got a lot of bad press. As a result, Jaycee Chan openly apologized for what his son had done and said he hoped J.C.'s experience would teach other young people not to use illegal drugs. It was my fault that Jaycee Chan didn't teach his son, and I should also take responsibility. He and Jaycee apologized to everyone in public. Jaycee also said he wasn't going to leave Jaycee any of his money, saying that he can make his own money if he knows how. On September 17, 2014, Jaycee was officially taken by the Beijing Dongqing Procurator's office. Chan on suspicion of giving drug users a place to stay. Jaycee made it clear that if Jaycee, what would people think of us if we only went to jail for a week or 10 days? We are well-known people who need to follow the rules. Jaycee even told J.C.'s lawyer in a funny way to hit him twice for me. Jaycee. He was in jail on his 32nd birthday, and his mother told him that he had borrowed more than 100 books to read while he was there. 4 months after he was arrested, on December 22, 2014, Jaycee was charged by Chinese officials with giving people a place to use illegal drugs. His court case began in Beijing on January 9, 2015. Jaycee was jailed for 148 days and then given a 6-month prison term and a 2,000 yuan fine. He accepted that he broke the law, took his punishment, and said he wouldn't do it again. On the other hand, his folks did not show up to the trial. It was said that Jaycee Chan was in Beijing during the trial, but he made it clear that he wouldn't use his power to get his son's term shortened. It was later discovered that while in detention, Jaycee, he told his mother he was sorry in a 3-page letter and promised not to do the same things again. In the letter, he said that he started trying drugs because he was hanging out with bad people and finally became dependent on them to calm down when he was upset. How did Jaycee get along with his parents, though? Let's find out how badly Jaycee gets along with his parents. Being in the public eye as a child, Jaycee Chan didn't talk much about his personal life. Afraid of the attention that came with his father's fame, he didn't do many interviews. He was, however, surprisingly honest about how hard it was for him to be with Jaycee Chan and the stress of living in the shade of his famous father. He said that he was lonely and wanted to be closer to Jaycee, but it seemed impossible for them to become closer even though they were father and son. Because of their fame, high standards, and different values, his words showed how hard it was for them to be together. While he was in jail, Jaycee, he talked about how hard it was to grow up in a famous family and how the pressure of fame affected him. He also said that he was upset with Jaycee for not caring enough, but Jaycee didn't seem to understand. He said in an interview that he wanted to be an anti-drug activist for life and hoped Jaycee, after getting out of jail, he would do the same thing, telling other people to stay away from drugs. Jaycee even backed the death sentence for serious crimes in public. Jaycee Chan said he was giving away all of his $350 million income to charity, leaving his son Jaycee with nothing. He told him that he should work and make his own money if he could. He'll waste mine if he can't. Even though Jaycee, folks who knew him well said he rarely talked about his private life, he was greatly hurt by his father's choice. Jaycee wished for Jaycee to get used to being on his own, but it is said that it made Jaycee feel ignored and embarrassed in public. This public comment made Jaycee think that his father really did think he was a failure. Don't deserve love or a fortune. Even though they had a rough past, this choice felt like the end of their relationship. The fact that Jaycee was arrested also made it much harder for him to make a living. He was in 10 films over the course of 3 years before he went to jail. Since then, he's only been in 3 films, and one of them didn't even give him credit. It was hard for Jaycee to start over in his work. For many films, he was no longer a good choice for parts. The incident did a lot of damage to Jaycee. The film business, which cares a lot about image and marketability, was not forgiving of Chan's actions. There were rumors that he wasn't dependable, was hard to work with, and could be bad for public relations. Because of his family name, he used to have easy access to opportunities. Now, doors that were once open were tightly shut. His career was over because of mistakes he made in the past. Jaycee. Big names like Adidas, Nivea, Yeshin, Johnson & Johnson contact lenses, Stride Gum, KFC, and Chevrolet stopped endorsing her. He hit rock bottom and came back to America, even though he wasn't a citizen anymore. Even though they still live together in Hong Kong, they don't seem to spend much time together. Jaycee. People often think of Chan as a playboy who likes to party. Despite a lot of promotion, Chan's films and songs have not done well at the box office or with critics. When he was younger, People's Daily named him one of China's most famous people. Amber Ndiao, a DJ from Malaysia, posted a picture from a bar on April 27, 2023. It surprised a lot of people when she said she was hanging out with Jaycee. She often goes to parties with famous people after her shows, and she looked like she had a good time with Jaycee. She put up pictures of herself with a wine glass, but Jaycee wore a white shirt, a dark jacket, and a cap. At first, he was wearing a mask, but he took it off to pose for the pictures. What did Jaycee figure out how to live after prison? Check back to find out. Life after being arrested. When Jaycee Chan got out of jail, he stayed with his mother in Taipei and tried to stay out of sight by hiding behind a mask most of the time. He said he flew to the US before COVID-19 spread, but as things got worse, he chose to stay in Los Angeles because he thought it would be dangerous to make the long trip back to Taiwan. On August 14th, Jaycee shared a new music video called In Search for Darkness. It was his first public appearance in 10 years since his arrest for drug-related crimes. The 41-year-old wrote and directed the video himself. It shows personal parts of his life, like photos of his parents, memories from his youth, and video from his public apology for drug use in 2015. Having been turned down by the show business, Jaycee. He knew he needed to start over. He made the decision to go into business. He knew that his family name still had weight in some circles, even though it had hurt his image. Jaycee. Chan has started his own tequila brand called Los Seven Angeles to get into the growing and profitable tequila business. This shows that he wants to show that he can succeed on his own terms. The tequila, which is said to be made using traditional ways and high-quality agave, is more than just a business for Jaycee. It shows how strong he is and how much he wants to start over, away from his father's fame and his own mistakes. It's too early to tell if Los Seven Angeles will do well in the crowded drinks market, but it's a big step forward for Jaycee as he tries to change who he is and what his future holds. His story shows how fame can make personal lives harder, showing that even people with famous names have problems and struggles they don't talk about. What do you think about J.C.'s sad story and how he gets along with his parents? Leave a comment below and let us know. Thanks for seeing this movie. We hope it was interesting for you. Remember to like and subscribe. You can watch the next movie on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrity news. See you then.